So today we've been working on the 4430 again. The front pump is good. We have determined that, like I said in the last video. O-rings, I think he put them in already, so pump's back in. All we got to do, we're waiting on fan belt. I'm going to put that on new, and radiator's good. Once we get the fan belt, we'll put the radiator back in and all that. And then we're going to take this tank off. I'm going to finish painting the back, because as you can easily tell, there's where the overspray was. But when I painted the tank early spring, that was just something, spray it on, make it look good going through the field. Because when you got the hood on, going by, you will never notice that it's not painted unless you're standing right here looking at it. But that's going to come off, and I'm going to finish painting it. And I got a sticker for the front of it. I'm going to put a new decal on it, and we're going to put a new decal on the hood. But this tank here, I'm going to repaint it too. Probably going to paint the frame. Front wheels are definitely getting painted, because you've probably noticed this if you've been watching, but that rim's white for some reason. It was like that when we got it, so they must have just put it on and ran it, because that's all I had. But other than that, back wheels, planning on cleaning them up. Fenders rusted through. We're just going to go ahead and order them, I think. They're a little pricey, but we need them anyway, because we do not want to be running through the field with fenders that have holes rusted in them. I mean, they work, but we just don't like doing that. Battery boxes, I'm planning on painting them. Cab, gonna paint that. What I'm working on today, we have taken the mirrors off. We're gonna paint them brackets. I'm gonna sand on the posts up along the top of the cab. I'm gonna repaint them. Those are pretty simple. All we gotta do is just mask off the windows. But we'll paint them. That's what I'm doing. I'm sanding on them today. Just the posts, back posts. This right here, I started sanding it. I got some 220. There were some really bad rust spots, so I ran the 220 over it to kind of knock it down. Now I'm going to take some 320 and do the whole thing, smooth it out. Then when I'm getting ready closer, I'll run some 600 over it just to get it smoothed out good. And that's kind of the plan here. We are going to try to get some interior for the tractor, mainly just the headliner right now, because the old headliner is, I would not put that back in there if you were going to force me to. Mice have gotten up in here and built nests up in here, so headliner's going to come new. We need to get a new back for the seat because it's pretty bad, but other than that, the interior of this tractor is not too bad. It's pretty clean, but we said when we bought it, it's not perfect, but when we get done, it's going to be pretty dolled up. So I guess I'll get to sanding. So it probably looks like a mess now, but if it was cleaned off, it'd look better. But I took some, on these rough spots, I took the 220, knocked it down, knocked most of it off, and I come back with 320, ran it over all of it, got it smoothed out. Now, if we were wanting to do a real, just magnificent restoration, you know how it is if you've restored tractors. Prime all of it, sand it down again, prime it, paint it. But no, this is a strictly farm tractor. It's going to get used Hopefully quite a bit. If not, it's going down the road because there ain't no need in having a tractor that we don't use. Well, a tractor like this at least, but these spots like this, it's kind of wanting to show through on rust right there, but I'm gonna probably spray primer over that spot like that, and that. Spray primer over it and sand it down a little bit and get it smoothed out. Then paint it, because you leave a rust spot like that, whatever's there when you paint it, it'll still be there after the paint's dried. You will be able to tell it's there. I ran into that when I painted the hood, because here's the hood, and if y'all watch the videos where this tractor's running, you can tell we painted it, because I don't believe I've showed photos of it through a video, but on Instagram I have. But you really, in the light there, you can see all the specks and kind of some scratches there. That's all roughness of the metal when I painted it, because when we got this tractor, there was a sticker that went about like that on here for the business that owned it. That was on both sides, and I had to scrape it off, and it kind of scratched the paint, and I sanded it down good. I sanded it as smooth as I could get it. Didn't prime it, left the paint there, sanded it down, got it with a little bit of texture, and painted it. Because if we left, as long as I left the paint, that means this paint had something to stick to. I think we put 2 coats of paint on here, 2 or 3. But this was the first thing I've ever actually painted with a paint gun and not rattle can, because that toolbox, there hasn't really been a close-up, but the toolbox in my pickup, I restored it myself. A little bit of help from Grandpa with some patchwork, and my dad helped on it as well. That, I just got some farm store paint and painted it. But this, we actually had John Deere paint with an actual spray gun we hooked to the air hose. First thing I ever painted in. The paint is stuck, and it looks good. I got some flits, and I believe I got some turtle wax too. Yeah, that's what we used. And I waxed this up while Grandpa was doing some stuff on the tractor, because it's still tore apart, as you've seen. But this here, first thing I ever painted, and the paint has stuck. It's just in the light up close, you can tell there's some imperfections in it, but it's gonna be what it'll be. I ain't gonna paint it again, because I ain't gonna sand it all down and reprime it and all that. It's just gonna be what it'll be. It looks good from the bridge, as my great uncle used to say. So guess we'll just keep on and sand it on the tractor. Now I'm gonna get some water, and I'm gonna wipe all the old paint and mud off of this, because this tractor's dirty. I did not hose it off whatsoever, because there ain't got time for that. But smoothed all that up good, and got the post here. I did it about the best I could, short of completely taking this wheel off or moving it out. So I'm gonna probably prime it too and do the best I can. I still have that post to do yet, but after we get this done, I'm gonna get the ladder and do that post and that post right there. Those shouldn't be too bad. It does look like it's gonna be some rough stuff, so I'll probably start with the 220 on it too, just for good measure. So let's keep on going. So I'm headed down to the shop here. It's been a few days since I sanded on the 4430. I ran out of sandpaper, so I had to run and get some more of that. So tonight I'm going to try to finish up sanding the posts on this tractor, and that'll probably be all I do. I'm going to wait till I get a full day of working on it to start priming and stuff like that. So we're just going to keep on sanding. That's pretty much just my plan this evening, so let's get to it. I'm back in the shop. Yesterday, you seen I did some more sanding, started on the door on the tractor here, and we had to go down to the neighbors, talk to them. So I'm back here tonight. It's Wednesday. I'm going to start sanding on it again. As you kind of see, sanding on the door. I'm going to start here and work all the way around right there, and hopefully get the other side done too, and be able to start on this. We are still waiting on fan belts for this tractor, but they should be in shortly. So once we get them, radiator can go back in. Once that gets back in, she'll be ready to fire back up. Then hopefully we think we got the hydraulic issue solved, so we'll see about that. So let's get to sanding. Well, I'm done sanding for the day, and I got the cab completely sanded for now. There are some rusty spots on there that I'm going to have to spray with some primer and go over again, kind of get them smoothed up and filled in, that way they don't show through the paint. But other than that, everything's going good so far. Cab wise, that's good. The frame, I haven't started on it, still have the battery boxes yet to do, but I'm just going to sand and paint the cab for now. And once we get the tractor back together, I'll start on the frame and the fuel tank and stuff like that. This is one I could do while the tractor's tore apart. So we will see y'all in the next video, and I'm gone.